Hey guys, welcome to another What's for Dinner. I haven't done one of these videos in ages. It's been requested so much, so I thought I'd share the 3 dishes I'm doing this week. But first, I just wanted to let you know that Dave has already done sauteed chicken with Asian salad, tortellini with eggplant. We had that on Monday and Tuesday night. So the first meal that I'm sharing is braised Asian pork belly. So these are the ingredients that I need for the braised Asian pork belly. So let's start off at the back. So I've got some sweet soy sauce, vegetable oil. I'm going to be using some coconut water, and then pork belly wise, for what I've got, you can do it with 1 kilo. I've got 1.6 kilo. Nicole says that if you do 2 kilos, you need to double all the other ingredients, but I'm going to go 1.6 and just see how I go and see if I don't need to double the ingredients. Then I've got stars, Chinese 5 spice, 3 red onions, a bulb of garlic, and then I just need a thumb knob size of ginger. So this is the first time I've ever cooked with pork belly, so I'm going to need a little luck on my side. So first off with the pork belly, I got them out of their packets and then I chopped them into 2 to 3 centimetre cubes. As you can see here, this knife is quite blunt, and I persisted with it for about 1.5 pork bellies before I asked Dave to sharpen it for me, which he did, which was great. When I go out to pubs, I do sometimes actually have a pork belly, you know, the really crispy top. This didn't actually turn out crispy, I didn't do that. But I wanted to get good at making dishes that I eat out because we really aren't going to be going out that much. We're going to be having a lot of home date nights. So that's why I went all out with the pork belly. So do you like getting pork belly when you're out, or do you just find it too fatty? And look how much better the knife is cutting now. Dave has sorted that. So I'm just going to chop all these up. The first time I'm doing a recipe, I like to follow the recipe to a T, but I didn't even do that with this recipe. It said to only put 1 tablespoon of oil in, and I put the 2 in right at the get-go. So I was off to a great start with doing this recipe. And then I had to chop up those 3 red onions. Peeling them took me ages, but nothing compared to the bulb of garlic. I don't think I've ever put a whole bulb of garlic in a dish before. So that took ages. The actual preparation for this dish, because I'm not really quick, took me a long time. So that kind of pushed everything back. So with the pork, I was aiming for it to look golden, which I wasn't really sure what that meant. So I turned it over halfway through to help that process. And then once I thought it looked golden, I took it out and put it on a plate. I actually turned the stove off for a bit while I did the garlic as well as the ginger, because all of those 3, I was hoping to put them in together. And then, I don't know if I made this up, but I read somewhere, I think, that spoons help to get the ginger out. So that's what I did. And then for the leftover ginger, because Woolies gave me an absolute massive amount of it, I just put in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. Then once that had become fragrant, then I put in the Chinese 5 spice, the sweet soy sauce, as well as the soy sauce. And then I also put in the coconut water as well as the stars. And I know I keep shortening it. If you've watched these videos, I just keep calling them stars. And that's because I'm sure I'll pronounce them wrong. So I'm just calling them stars. After an hour, I turned them over and then I did the mashed potato. So in the mashed potato, I decided this time to put milk, a little bit of butter, as well as some Parmesan cheese.
The things you said to me, it seems like you like me too. We can take it slow, make sure we do this right. Canceled out.
And then look at that, and it was absolutely delicious. The kids really enjoyed it too. My 3-year-old daughter actually said, "Mum, can we please have this again?" after she'd taken a couple of bites. So that was awesome. I was really stoked with that comment. Okay, so I'm going to be making the beef and rosemary cottage pie today. So I've just got out the ingredients that I need. This, as you can see, is from an old HelloFresh when we got it. So spinach, beef, butter, cheese. They also did say some salt, but it was so minimal. It was like salt. It was like half a teaspoon. So that's not worth it. Oil, beef stock, thyme leaves, onion, rosemary. Got some extra potatoes, and I've got an extra carrot as well. All right, let's do this. So to make the beef and rosemary cottage pies, I peeled the potatoes. Here's a trivia question for you. What is the difference between a shepherd's pie and a cottage pie? Just took forever, that's why I've sped them up. And then both kids wanted to get involved today. So first off, my daughter wanted to help out with the carrots, so I taught her how to peel a carrot, just trying to peel away from her. So she's doing that while I'm working on these potatoes. I do really like having the kids help out with cooking. Yes, it takes longer, but it's fun. And I also feel that if they are taking some responsibility for creating the meal, then they're more likely to eat their own creations. Little trick I learnt from HelloFresh was when you're doing the carrots, cut them in half and then half again and then slice them. That way the pieces are so much smaller. As I said, this time I've done an extra carrot, and I'm probably going to start doing a few other extra veggies in there, maybe a bit of zucchini as well. Here's another question. What veggies do you put in your pasta sauce? So if you're going to make a hidden vegetable pasta sauce, what vegetables would you blitz up to put in there? And now I'm prepping these onions. They are ginormous, taking off as much of the skin as I can, and then I'm going to put them in the pool chopper, and that's where my son pops over and decides that he'd like to help. It's just a bit like he's got this toy, a lawnmower toy, which you pull just like this puller. So he has a bit of a go at the pool chopper. Pouring the potatoes in. Do you prepare potatoes earlier in the day and just leave them in water in the fridge? I think that's something I will think about doing, because it'll be far more time efficient than in the afternoon trying to do all this preparation. I'd love to know in the comments if you prep your veggies in the morning. Then over to the stove, I'm going to make that oil heat up, and then I'm going to first add in those carrots just to soften them. Then I've put all the onion in the pan as well. This pan I absolutely love. It's only a recent purchase. It's my most expensive pan. I've never spent over $100 on a pan. I normally just pick them up from like the grocery store, you know, those cheapo ones. But I am absolutely loving this. There is so many dishes that I do in it, and just the fact that the food actually stays in it because it has really high sides. So absolutely loving it. It's been such a worthwhile buy, and it goes in the oven as well, which is fantastic, which you'll see later on here. So I've just put in the beef and just breaking that up, and the potatoes are now done. Then I'm just going to only put a tiny bit of beef stock in. Last time I found this to be quite salty. It says to use 2 tablets, but I'm just going to be using half a teaspoon. And then I'm putting in some tomato paste, and it's upside down because that's how we store it in the fridge. And then I'm mixing all that in together, adding in some spinach, trying it. Then once that's all cooked, then I'm going to put the mashed potato on the top, then put some cheese on it, and then put it in the oven so that it's on the grill setting though. And I'm going to stay close because it cooks so quickly and I don't want that cheese to burn. And then it's time to clean up the kitchen. Don't worry, you're not going to see that. This is just a cooking video, not a cook and clean. Then I served it with 500 grams of collie and broccoli. The last recipe I'm going to share with you is from Nicole, the Simple Housewife, and it is 10-minute chicken pesto pasta. So the ingredients that you're going to need for this is spiral pasta. She uses frozen peas, but I'm actually going to be using 500 grams of broccoli, some garlic, cream, pesto. This I'm trying for the first time, this Woolies pesto. Last time I made it, I used Jamie Oliver's. It's over $5. It was absolutely delicious. So I tested this one out and I was happy with it. It tasted great. So I would be happy to get that again. And it just requires 1 chicken breast, which is great, which makes it really affordable. And so I've just sliced it up super thin, and then I'm just searing them on both sides. And while I'm doing this, I'm cooking the pasta and I'm doing the broccoli in the microwave. And I just had to do it in 2 lots because I was using so much broccoli. And then adding the cream, adding the pesto, mix that all together. And then it also talks about adding some parmesan. Massive regret here. Because the last 2 nights I'd used all the parmesan, I grabbed this parmesan, but it was so salty, and as soon as I did it I was like, no, why did I put this in? Thankfully though, when I actually did try it, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I wouldn't be using that parmesan again. Thanks heaps for watching, guys, to the end. Did you enjoy it? Do you want me to do another what's for dinner when I do some different recipes? Let me know below. See ya!